December 26, 1996, Boulder, Colorado. The Ramsey family home, adorned with Christmas decorations, held a dark secret. 6-year-old JonBenét Ramsey, a beauty queen in the making, was gone. Patsy Ramsey, JonBenét's mother, told police she found a ransom note. It was a lengthy, handwritten message demanding $118,000 for JonBenét's safe return. The note was unusual, specific, unsettling. Fear gripped the house. John Ramsey, JonBenét's father, was frantic. The police arrived, the investigation began, but something felt off. The scene felt staged. The note, too deliberate. This wasn't a typical kidnapping. This was something far more sinister. Patsy Ramsey's voice shook as she dialed 911. Her words, filled with panic, echoed the unimaginable terror that had invaded their home. The operator struggled to understand her pleas for help. Police arrived at the Ramsey residence. A child was missing. A ransom note left behind. The scene, however, was chaotic. Friends and family had been called, contaminating the potential crime scene. The 911 call, upon later review, seemed rehearsed. Patsy's demeanor, a mix of hysteria and a strange calmness. The police were left with more questions than answers. Had they stumbled upon a kidnapping gone wrong? Or was this elaborate charade masking something far more sinister? The ransom note was unlike any the police had encountered. It was long, rambling, filled with strange phrases and demands. The handwriting was analyzed, scrutinized, yet no match was found. The amount demanded, $118,000, was oddly specific. It mirrored a bonus John Ramsey had received recently. Was this a coincidence? Or a clue pointing to someone with insider knowledge? The note itself was written on a pad found inside the house. The pen, too, belonged to the Ramsey family. This detail, seemingly insignificant, added another layer of complexity to the investigation. Was this a deliberate attempt to mislead the police? Or were they dealing with a criminal who made careless mistakes? Hours passed, each minute feeling like an eternity for the Ramsey family. The tension in the air was palpable as the community held its breath. The search for JonBenét continued, with police officers and concerned neighbors scouring every inch of the suburban neighborhood. Flashlights flickered in the darkness, casting long, eerie shadows. John Ramsey, desperate to find his daughter, decided to check the basement. His heart pounded as he approached the door, a sense of dread washing over him. It was a decision that would change everything. The creak of the door echoed in the silence, and the cold air from the basement sent shivers down his spine. In a small, secluded room lay JonBenét's body. The sight was haunting, a stark contrast to the innocence she once embodied. She had been brutally murdered, a blow to the head silencing her forever. The broken window hinted at a possible entry point for the killer. The image, forever etched in the minds of the investigators, was a testament to the evil that had visited the Ramsey home. The gravity of the situation weighed heavily on everyone present. The discovery of JonBenét's body shifted the focus of the investigation. What was once a search for a missing child had now become a hunt for a murderer. This was no longer a kidnapping. This was a homicide. The realization sent shockwaves through the community, leaving everyone in a state of disbelief. And the killer, it seemed, had been hiding in plain sight. The sense of betrayal and fear was overwhelming as suspicions began to rise. The basement, now a crime scene, was meticulously combed for evidence. Investigators worked tirelessly, knowing that every detail could be crucial. Every fiber, every fingerprint could hold the key to unlocking the mystery of JonBenét's murder. The search for answers had only just begun, and the path ahead was fraught with challenges. The investigation into JonBenét's murder was a complex tapestry of forensic evidence, witness statements, and circumstantial clues. Yet, despite the abundance of information, the case remained unsolved. A paintbrush found near JonBenét's body was analyzed. The fibers matched a jacket found in the Ramsey home. But who did the jacket belong to? The answer remained elusive. DNA evidence was recovered from the crime scene, but it was a partial profile. Years of testing against national databases yielded no matches. The killer, it seemed, had vanished without a trace. Footprints, too, were found near JonBenét's body. They were too small to belong to an adult male. Could this be the evidence that pointed to an intruder, or was it another red herring in a case full of them? Section 6. Suspects and Theories, a Family Under Scrutiny. The investigation into JonBenét's murder cast a wide net, scrutinizing family members, friends, and even strangers. Theories abounded, each more outlandish than the last. John and Patsy Ramsey, thrust into the spotlight, became the primary suspects. Their behavior, deemed suspicious by some, fueled speculation. Had they harmed their own daughter? Burke Ramsey, JonBenét's brother, was only 9 years old at the time of the murder. Yet even he wasn't immune from suspicion. Could a child be capable of such a heinous act? Theories involving disgruntled employees, obsessed fans, and even serial killers were explored. But none of these leads panned out, leaving investigators no closer to finding JonBenét's killer. Section 7. The Media Frenzy, a Case Gone Viral. The murder of JonBenét Ramsey captivated the nation. It was a story that had all the elements to keep the public hooked: mystery, tragedy, and unanswered questions. The media, sensing a story that would grip the public's imagination, descended upon Boulder, Colorado. News vans lined the streets, and journalists from all over the country set up camp. Cameras camped outside the Ramsey home, broadcasting every development, every rumor, every speculation. The house became a focal point for the media, a stage for the unfolding drama. The case became a media circus, with JonBenét's image plastered across newspapers and television screens. Her face was everywhere, a constant reminder of the tragedy. Talk shows dissected the case, offering their own theories and interpretations. Experts and pundits debated endlessly, each trying to outdo the other with their insights. Psychics weighed in, claiming to have insights into the killer's mind. Their sensational claims added another layer of intrigue and confusion. The line between fact and fiction became increasingly blurred. People didn't know what to believe anymore as rumors and half-truths spread like wildfire. The relentless media attention turned a family tragedy into a public spectacle. The Ramseys found themselves under a microscope, their every move scrutinized. It also had the unintended consequence of hindering the investigation, as potential witnesses were bombarded with questions and cameras before the police could even speak to them. The media frenzy created an environment where finding the truth became increasingly difficult. Section 8. Unanswered Questions. The Mystery Endures. Decades have passed since that fateful Christmas in 1996. The murder of JonBenét Ramsey remains unsolved, a haunting reminder of the darkness that can lurk beneath the surface of seemingly perfect lives. The ransom note, the DNA evidence, the strange details surrounding the crime scene, all point to a puzzle that investigators have yet to solve. The case, though cold, continues to fascinate and frustrate in equal measure. Advances in DNA technology offer a glimmer of hope. Perhaps one day the killer's identity will be revealed, bringing closure to a case that has haunted the nation for far too long. Until then, the questions linger. Who killed JonBenét Ramsey and why? And Section 9. Justice for JonBenét, a Legacy of Loss. The murder of JonBenét Ramsey had a profound impact on the field of criminal justice. It was a case that shook the nation to its core, leaving an indelible mark on how we perceive safety and justice for our children. It exposed flaws in crime scene investigation protocols and highlighted the need for greater sensitivity in handling cases involving children. The mishandling of evidence and the chaotic nature of the investigation underscored the urgent need for reform. The case also sparked a national conversation about the often exploitative nature of the media. The sensationalist coverage turned a family's private grief into a public spectacle, raising ethical questions about journalism. The relentless coverage of JonBenét's murder raised questions about the public's right to know versus a family's right to privacy in the face of tragedy. The media frenzy surrounding the case was unprecedented, and it forever changed the landscape of news reporting. JonBenét Ramsey, forever frozen in time as a 6-year-old beauty queen, became a symbol of innocence lost. Her image, once a source of joy, became a haunting reminder of the fragility of life. Her murder, a stark reminder of the evil that exists in the world, continues to resonate with people around the globe. The pain of her loss is felt not just by her family, but by all who have come to know her story. The quest for justice for JonBenét continues. Despite the passage of time, the determination to find her killer remains strong, fueled by a collective sense of duty and compassion. It is a quest driven by a desire to honor her memory, to find answers, and to ensure that no other child has to endure the same fate. The legacy of JonBenét Ramsey is one of both sorrow and hope, a call to action for a better, safer world for all children.